Real quick, my people, good evening. This is a deep dive. I want to bring something to your attention that's been in the media. I'm going to play for you. I wanted to play the video for you, but I'm going to play the audio for you of a conversation between two Canadian police officers and a Jamaican, obviously a Jamaican man who feel like his rights were being violated because police officers cannot talk to Jamaicans, it seems, unless their rights are violated. Any contact with police is a violation of their rights. So I just want to quickly play this for you, and then we're going to talk.
It's so unprofessional, and use white and black. And is this the next case of racism?
Okay, so I'm just going to stop for a second. This is a case where two officers on patrol, I think they may have been riding bicycles on patrol on their beat, and they saw something that aroused their suspicion. Now, I can't tell you what's in the officer's mind because I obviously can't get in the officer's mind. But I can tell you that's their beat, and they have a right to check to see what was going on. And obviously, they saw the gentleman. They said he was like doing something under the car, so they stopped to check to see what it was on their beat. All right. So just let you have that background. Here we go.
It's still.
I'm just asking you what you were doing.
No, you approach, you put on gloves to come harass me.
I thought you were stealing something.
But how you thought what way that come from in your mind to thought I am stealing?
You got more than
no matter what way, no matter about what.
Say to us, this is my car, look, this is my.
No, but you guys, are so unprofessional. Why you guys so unprofessional when you see black people?
This was your car.
The world is equal, man. No, but you guys was unprofessional. You're not supposed to go out with this in my car in the first place. Look at my face. I mean, why? This car you get report that this car is stolen?
No.
Don't know if you come ask me if. No, don't come with no style or no reverse psychology. You're just being damn unprofessional and damn racist. You're just being racist, man. Your behavior is so unprofessional. And use white and black. And is this the next case of racism? Is it still?
I'm just asking you what you were doing.
No, you approach, you put on gloves to come act.
All right, folks. So as usual, when the matter involves police, no matter where they are, Jamaicans have a whole world of things to say about police. So I would like for you all to drop in the comment section below in this deep dive. Tell me what it is that you think the officers did wrong. Now, as a former police officer myself, I'm going to tell you, and nobody else, if nobody else tried to explain to you, I'm going to try to explain it to you. When an officer is on patrol, everything that happens on his beat, it's his business. Okay? It's not, even if a crime is not being committed, he can stop, ask questions, take notes for future reference, even if it's not a crime being committed. If something arouses his suspicion, his or her suspicion, that officer a good officer has every right to find out what is going on. So, of course, there are a lot of comments, and of course, many Jamaicans, obviously Jamaicans, on the thread had a lot to say about, the police officers. Just read some of the comment. Somebody says, don't come with no style or reverse psychology, obviously in reference to what he said. I don't know what the hell that was, reverse psychology. Somebody said 100% that part. Another one says, don't pick it with a straight Jamaican. The accent is going to come out. Somebody says, him right, they wouldn't stop anybody else with a different color if this is their car. If this is their car, shake my head. And somebody said, one person actually said, you think you're in Jamaica? Kiss KMFT. Yeah, y'all know what that means. And of course, there's a whole bunch of people jumping on that person saying, what the F that has to do with anything? A couple of people agreed, but some people accuse that person of you chat too much, kiss my teeth. The man is right. Policeman bright and out harder. What do you mean? Think about he's in Jamaica. How the F they gonna ask the guy if the car is his? Another person said unprofessional, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. The comments. So me, I just jotted a comment there. I said officers have a right to intervene if something arouses their suspicion. That is the very essence of their job. It has nothing to do with racism or if the car was reported stolen, because that car didn't have to be reported stolen. Everything the officers did was lawful. The car didn't have to be reported stolen. And one woman, she responded to my comment. But if I was listening to the man ask, was it report stolen? And he said, no, you clearly don't know what racism is because you're not black and that not about doing job. The J7 bloody feisty and want to look in the man car because he's a black man, but they pick on the wrong person who not standing for their BS. Folks, let me just say this. So I'm just gonna quickly, because I try to do a little bit of educating when I can, because it is situations like these that get people in trouble. Because there are a lot of people out there giving legal advice on when police interact with citizens and telling their fellow Jamaicans what not to do and not to comply. And a lot of the times they are wrong. So the cops stopped, saw him under the car. They had every right to stop. They asked him if it was his car. Now, in a sane society where people are not out to show off, the thing is, oh, yes, officer, here's my ID. It belongs to me or whatever. I live right here. End of story. But when you don't do that, you invite other things. And I tell you what, these cops were a little bit timid because I think it's Canada and it's not the United States. This would have gone a lot different in any state in the United States, not because the officers are racist. And I'm not saying there are not a lot of racist police. That's not what I'm saying, folks. Get what I'm saying? This would have gone south real quick because he could have gotten arrested, right? Because the police officers had every right to ask questions if something catches their attention, and you have to cooperate. It takes nothing off of you to say, officers, this is my car, blah, blah, blah. Here's my ID. Then if they take it from there and start asking questions now, that becomes a different matter. It becomes a different matter. But that's not what happened, right? That's not what happened. So I asked the lady, let us reverse the situation and say the officers were black Jamaicans because you accuse them of being racist because they just happen to be white, which is kind of like, it does defeat the whole purpose of this fight against racism. When everything we throw out the word racism. So I said, let's reverse the situation. Say the officers were black Jamaicans like the guy in the video. What would your reaction be as it relates to the officers? Right? It certainly could not be racism because they would be black too. But you still would find the officers' actions of offensive and objectionable, and the adjectives you would have used to describe them would be just as pejorative and caustic. Now, but the officers would be just as justified in stopping to check anything that aroused their suspicion on their beat. Not doing so would be a dereliction of their duties. One last scenario. This is what I said to the lady. Let's say the car was yours, ma'am, and the guy was engaged in suspicious activities and the officers decided not to do anything about it. Excuse me. And he ended up stealing your car. And let's say that there's video evidence showing that the very same two officers could have stopped to investigate but did not. What would your reaction be? My dear, as Jamaicans, we have far too much police hatred. Excuse me. Far too much police hatred. These officers did nothing wrong. Jamaicans criticize, and it's clear, most of the opinions are ignorant and racist. It had nothing to do with racism, the officer stopping and asking, is this your car? Saw him under the car. Would they have stopped and talked to somebody white? I have no way of knowing. I can't get into their heads. It is opinions like these on social media which is where everybody now gets their information. It is opinions like these that causes people to get in trouble because the officer did nothing wrong. And that clearly could have escalated to the point where he got hurt. Excuse me, where he got hurt, or at the very least, got arrested. Everybody have something negative to say. And now it is becoming, with these Jamaicans, it's becoming worse. It's not just about Jamaican cops, because you use all kinds of pejoratives and all kinds of adjectives to describe Jamaican cops in the most derogatory way possible. But let me tell you something. Canadians and Americans and the British and everywhere else you go, they don't look at their police officers the way you Jamaicans look at your police officers. They don't. They understand the sacrifices. They treat their police officers with respect because they know the sacrifices those officers make. And they are happy that those officers, regardless of where they live, are out there doing their utmost best to protect you so you can live in a society where you can go about your lives in relative freedom and without being afraid of like you're living in some of these areas in Jamaica, because you don't know when your life's going to be snuffed out. Now, I'm not saying people don't die everywhere, but you all can be as hypocritical as you want. I don't have time for it. I said what I said. The reality is the officers were dead right in stopping, and anybody who try to say otherwise, you're misinforming people, and it's a dangerous thing. Dangerous thing, because you're giving people advice that could literally get them in a whole host of trouble or get them even unalived. So I salute all the great men and women who rush to help total strangers, putting their lives on the line for people who they don't know. And I'm hoping that my response to this lady was something that was educational for her and the other people on the thread. And I'm hoping that me creating this short video to talk to you on the deep dive tonight is educational enough that some people may change the way they go about doing things. I thank you for taking the time to listen to me or to watch this video. Please share it, please like it, and give us a subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you.